Along with Tim Boyle. How are you, Tim?
I'm doing great because, Scott, we got another rivalry game this week. Back-to-back rivalry games.
It is the Glacier Peak Grizzlies facing just a few blocks, the Jackson Timberwolves. Now, why is this such a big rivalry game?
Well, for the community last week was a bigger game. And, I caught up with Han, and he kind of said the same thing. But for the community and all the parents, last week was a much bigger game. For the students, this is a much bigger game. They're going to the same parties. They're after the same boyfriends and girlfriends and all that kind of stuff. So it's much bigger for the students.
The moms grew up together. All the PTAs in the elementary schools, Everett, kind of bordering Snohomish.
Yes. Well, I think the
Mommy and Me clubs.
The mommy stuff. I think that was more important last week. This week, it's all about the students and their rivalry, and they're competing against the same parties and everything like that. So it's a big rivalry game.
Yeah, we expect a huge crowd here tonight. Big other thing we want to talk about, we're going into, obviously, this is week 3 of Wesco. Get us up to speed on any surprises, teams that shocked you. What's going on in the Wesco South, Wesco North 4A, 3A? Got some big games tonight we'll talk about.
Well, actually, Scott, I haven't seen any surprises yet. League play kind of opens up tonight for a lot of the schools.
Wait a minute, we rehearsed this. I was supposed to give you surprises.
Oh, what are the surprises?
No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. There are no surprises.
There really hasn't been,
No.
But you might see some starting this week. Whatever happens this week here, there's going to be some surprises because there's a lot of people that think Jackson's going to win this no problem, and there's a lot of people that think Glacier Peak's got this no problem. So either way, there'll be some surprises tonight.
All right, let's dive into Glacier Peak. Last week, a big win. They're 2-0. Lake Stevens, a good win. Michael the Missile Palmer. What do you think?
Oh, man, he looks like Bo Jackson back there wearing number 34. And, the thing about Palmer is he's been a big surprise for us because we didn't know he was going to be this good this year. And the thing about it is once he's got past the line of scrimmage, nobody has caught the guy.
He is just a monster. 332 yards rushing in 2 games, 4 touchdowns.
And the more important thing about that, he's gotten a couple long ones called back. He's probably got 150 yards worth of yards called back on the guy. And again, we talked about this. Every time he's gotten a breakaway, nobody has caught the guy.
You don't like
the missile.
All right, we'll have to try that one out. Okay, next guy we got to talk about, been just huge. Trey Chambers, number 3 in the defensive side. The thief has been nasty.
He really has been, and he's kind of quietly been nasty, where a lot of people may not notice some of the plays he's doing, but he's had a couple touchdown saving plays. I don't know how many I lost track of his interceptions, but he's been coming up big, and even talking to Coach Hannon, he said that because of his athletic ability, he makes plays that a lot of other people aren't making.
And our IRG injury update is really, thank goodness, we have not a lot to talk about except big number 72, Carson Call, who honestly just has the flu.
Correct. But that opens up the door for Josh Elvig, the 5-tool player's kid, 5-tool junior there.
Yeah, baby. So he's going to get the start. That also moves Drew Lina, the Freightliner, moves him to offensive tackle. So number 53 will be the Drew Liner is going to go offensive tackle. Saw him before the game. He's a little concerned.
Yeah, I think he likes his defensive position, and also you'll get to see Josh Elvig on defensive end, I believe, tonight. So big night for him.
Talk to the IRG again, Integrative Rehabilitation Group. Our IRG injury report for Timberwolves, nothing. They're looking good. They're looking strong. Anything else? And again, down to Steve Hannon, in your pregame interview with Steve Hannon, what did he have to say today?
Well, I think the most interesting thing he had to say was they had to actually calm down the players. We talked about a rivalry. There's so much going on, like via social media and all this badgering and tempers flaring and threats going on, that they had to calm the kids down. And basically the coaches said, you do any more of this, you're benched. You're not playing. So it got a little heated between the two teams, and that's why I said, again, with the kids, this is a much bigger rivalry. So, but that's one thing he said so everybody's fired up tonight. Probably just as fired up as they were last week.
What are the keys on Glacier Peak side here in the Mongo's pregame show?
Well, the key on the Glacier Peak side.
Glacier Peak side, what are the keys here? As Steve Hannon told you about.
Basically, they're going to be doing some aggressive stuff. They're going to be doing a lot of rushing the football or blitzing the football. So you're going to look to you're going to see Jackson going back to pass a lot, and you're going to see a lot of blitzes. You're going to see a lot of real gutsy blitzes. And he even said, we're going to get burned possibly, and when we do, it's going to be for a touchdown.
Really?
If they get burned. So they're good. They're gambling tonight.
And we'll tell you what Jackson's strategy is against that after we come back. You're watching the Mongo's pregame show here on the Snohomish Times Sports Network, STSPN.com. We talked to Alex Barashkov, and here we go. The Mongo's pregame show. We'll be we're not going to get to that commercial right now. So Alex Barashkov, the offensive coordinator, he talked to us to go against that. He thinks they're going to bring some heat, but what's he want to do?
Well, he's probably going to do some real quick throws, and you talk to him, not me, but he's probably going to do a lot of quick throws. I think he's expecting the blitz coming at him, so they're preparing for that. They got to see a lot of it against Lake Stevens and looking at film, so they're prepared for some blitzing. So I think it's going to be gambling on both sides of the football. The other thing is they got that Larry Baker Bruce, and I don't know if you were going to get to that in a minute, but we may as well just bring him up now.
Let's go. I love this kid.
And we saw him the year before last year in the spring game, and we were kind of comparing him to Michael Vick back there. But they basically put him at running back, which will be great for him because the kid is fast. I look to see him making a couple breakaways or potential breakaways, but they're going to definitely have to contain him.
He's been a stud on defense, plays safety there as well. Alex telling me, Barashkov saying that they just don't get him the ball enough. His big concern all year is they just don't have enough beef up front. They don't have enough. They're a little light up front, so running has been a challenge. But he did say he's going to set, his quarterback is the other guy, Connor Plaisance. He's got some gaudy numbers coming in. They're going to call the play. They look over just like Glacier Peak, and then they're going to ask Connor to make a read.
Correct. And if you look at their stats, if you kind of study their stats, they haven't been that great at running the ball this year, but they've been very effective throwing it. He's got 415 yards and I believe 7 touchdowns in 2 games. So He's having a kind of a stellar year this year.
Yeah, he is 28 for 49, 415 yards with 7 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
Step inside Mongo's at Clearview for an experience you have to taste to believe. Customers come to Mongo's for the friendly service, down-to-earth atmosphere, and of course, the menu. We use only the freshest ingredients to prepare every dish, and everything we make starts from scratch each morning, like our delicious freshly caught salmon and our mouth-watering burgers. Perfect for ordering to go or dining in. What you don't see is how much energy our chefs put into every meal, but we think the results speak for themselves. Just see what our customers are saying. They dream of our fish tacos. They love our fabulous chef, and whether it's lunch or dinner, they can't get enough. We love what we do, and we think you'll agree once you take that first bite. When you come hungry, we want you to leave happy. Mongo's at Clearview. Stop in anytime.
Welcome back to the Mongo's pregame show. Scott Oshman along with Tim Boyle here on a very exciting, the weather is about 10 degrees cooler as you see Glacier Peak coming to the field, Tim.
Here they come, and you're right. About 10 degrees cooler, but it's been perfect weather all 3 games so far. And we've had the great Glacier Peak's had the fortunate advantage of opening up at home basically every game this year. Snohomish, it was kind of a mixed bag, but they've been home all 3 weeks and great weather. No complaints.
Couple other kids you want to look at as far as Jackson. Again, Glacier Peak, it's all the usual suspects. Baruch was huge. Big play, Josh May. Becerra, you were waiting for him. He had a little hiccup to start the game last week, but then got in the groove. So, Michael Palmer, we talked about him. Sean Elledge, the wrestler. I mean, he's had some big plays, but he hasn't overbearingly come out on the end of the game. You're like, God, he had a gigantic game.
No, and part of that is because Glacier Peak is deep, and they've really been spreading it around. You got Palmer and Quentin Dunbar has been coming up. Becerra's had big game, so you don't see as much of it like you did last year with Sean Elledge. But he's got the first 2 touchdowns in both games.
Well, the other kid is big number 80 on the Jackson Timberwolves, Alec Cassena. He's 6'5", Tim, 225. Brushkoff, the offensive coordinator for Jackson, said we're going to have him blocking off the edge, but we're going to send him out.
Yeah, I think the key to their success will be how good that tight end plays, and if he plays like we think he can play, it's going to be scary.
All right, we'll be back right after this with the kickoff. You're watching the Mongo's pregame report on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. We'll be back right after this. Now you have that great neighborhood pub to relax, have fun with friends, and not have to go to some big chain. That's right, the Twisted Lime Pub has great drink specials, delicious food, your favorite game on, and the music you will love. Located close to home in between Mill Creek, Snohomish, and South Everett, you're never too far to stop in and enjoy the great atmosphere and top-notch service. They feature the best microbrews on tap, a full bar, so come on in after the game. Tim and I will be there. The Twisted Lime Pub, your local neighborhood pub. Do we have the...
Well said.
Again, welcome everybody. We've got Glacier Peak facing the Jackson Timberwolves. Glacier Peak, Tim Boyle in the Seattle Times, number 6 team in the state for 3A.
Yeah, and the AP had them at number 9 in their first poll. So, the ratings we like to talk, the rankings we like to talk about, but at the end of the day, they mean absolutely nothing because in college football they mean something, but here they mean nothing. But it's fun to talk about, and the kids like it. The parents like to follow it.
All right, we'll be back with kickoff right after this. You're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
Physical therapy is a specialty focused on treating musculoskeletal dysfunction, movement dysfunction. We're on the cutting edge at Integrated Rehabilitation Group. We look at function. We talk about the total body and treating the total person. All of our therapists have a master's degree, and more importantly, a lot of them have doctorate degrees. Movement is the key. The old way in physical therapy was to treat them on the table. We get people off the table, on the ground, and start moving them in a normal pattern because life is movement. Physical therapy.
Welcome back. Scott Oshman along with Tim, the expert STSBN football analyst Boyle. Or I like to call him the 80s pop music savant.
We need to do some 80s music trivia tonight.
Hey, out there, give us an email, Scott at SnohomishTimes.com, Tim at SnohomishTimes.com, or editor at SnohomishTimes.com. We like Michael the Missile Palmer, but we are up for suggestions. Don't you think, Tim?
You give us the nickname, we'll evaluate it. And you can give us all the nicknames you want. We'll even give you credit. If we pick yours, we'll give you credit. But then we get final say-so.
That's true. We do have to give Coach Hannon the credit for the missile.
He did name the missile.
I still like Trey the Faith Chambers.
Oh, yeah, that's a no-brainer.
So 27 seconds left to go here. Another big 4A test. What'll be interesting, Tim, is to see if the defense for the Grizzlies can handle the powerful passing game of Jackson.
Well, it's a tale of two offenses. Really, they're both. We forgot to bring this up, but they're both averaging 42 points a game. Something's got to give.
One other thing, you're right. Something does have to give. And these teams, one of them, both 2-0. Jackson beating Monroe soundly, and then last week a strong victory over Everett. You know the Glacier Peak story. The other big thing we've talked about off the air in pre-games when talking is penalties regarding this Glacier Peak team.
Yeah, and last week I think, and I when I was talking to Coach Hannon about this, he did say the referees were a little quick to throw the flag last week. They were a little bit worried about the game getting out of hand, and it was a rivalry, and you had the one Snohomish guy throw the helmet down the field. But all in all, the game was pretty clean, but the refs actually weren't letting them play last week.
Here we go, Tim. Yes, the penalties, we'll talk more about that. Back to receive for
Josh Baruch, or Marcus Baruch.
Marcus Baruch for Glacier Peak. They are receiving the ball first, which is a good sign. We'll see their offense right off the bat. Kicks it off, 21 with a strong kick. Baruch from about the 7. Takes it past the 20 down the near side.
Oh!
Just past the 25, bounced out.
And that was touch and go. I thought they may get a late hit out of bounds. It looked like he was about a yard out when he got pushed out of bounds. But
that was 14. Look for him on defense. John Robert Woolley leads the Jackson Timberwolves on tackles with 12 and 2 interceptions, Tim Boyle.
Yep, we'll see a lot of him tonight. So we got the usual suspects down on the line, too. You got Sean Elledge, you got Baruch.
1st and 10 here for Glacier Peak. The pitch, the flea flicker, back to Becerra going deep over the middle, tipped and incomplete.
Oh, he got it! He got it! He got it! It bounced right into his hands. It went off about 3 players, Scott, landed right in Sean Elledge's hands.
The official's looking over.
It is a catch, without a doubt.
The miracle reception by the wrestler.
And he got an early Christmas present there, Scott. It just he was on the ground, and it hit like 2 or 3 players, lands right in his breadbasket.
Are you kidding me?
Looked a little bit like one of those Lynn Swan catches of the late 70s.
I love Lynn Swan.
I know. We're dating ourselves.
God, we're so dating. But that's okay.
A lot of our listeners don't remember.
We're talking about Bo Jackson and Herschel Walker.
Oh, what are they saying? Are they saying incomplete?
They're saying it's incomplete.
I think they're saying incomplete.
Well,
oh, my.
I can't wait till this weekend when Todd Elbig now back up.
That is a horrible call. That's our West Coast septic bad call of the game, Scott. That was a completed pass. That was 100% a completed pass.
Well, here we go. 2nd and 10. Incomplete. Started off with a little, as I say, tomfoolery here on the first play, just like the onside kick last week against Snohomish. Long pause now, looking over. 2nd and 10 on their own 26. Becerra gives it to Elledge now in the backfield. Elledge getting a little running back, and he'll get 3 or 4.
3 or 4, but he wanted that 40-yarder right there.
That's a different look with Elledge in the backfield.
Yeah, Palmer is in the game there, Scott.
There he is. There's Palmer. So it brings up 3rd and 7 now for Glacier Peak. Elledge now on the near side. Big play, Mike, the missile, Palmer back. Becerra, though, is going to throw the ball. Looking for Baruch. Incomplete. So, not a great series. They kind of got stunted there with that huge play with Elledge. I cannot wait to see the HD replay this weekend on STSPN.
Yeah. I'm telling you, from what I saw, that never hit the ground and landed right in his breadbasket.
Let's see if we can go to our on-field sideline reporter, Ron Henthorn, as we watch this kick, this punt, a rear punt. Okay, we don't have Ron. We'll go back to Ron.
Well, it took a good Glacier Peak bounce there, Scott. He got an extra 15 yards on that bounce.
He did. Back to receive was Keenan Foster, number 5 for the Timberwolves. Well, we're going to see this matchup now. We'll see if they can throw the ball, Tim.
There we go. This is what we've been waiting for.
Now let's go to Ron Henthorn down on the field. Ron?
That was a big reception for Glacier Peak that was turned over by the referees. It looked like a catch to me down here on the field, but you never know what those guys in the stripes are going to do. Back to you guys.
Yep.
Thank you, Ron. So it looked good down to Ron and everybody. I can't wait to talk to the coaches. 1st and 10, Connor Plassant fumbles the snap. He's hanging
Quentin Dunbar.
Dunbar with a great sack to start the game.
Well, it was a broken play, and Dunbar had perfect penetration on that.
Again, you're probably going to see him throwing the ball a lot. Connor Plassant played wide receiver last year, and actually the previously you see Larry Baker Bruce, number 2, right next to him in a kind of the pistol.
And be careful with that guy.
Trey Robinson, number 8, on the near side. Now he throws. It's incomplete. And Baruch and Trey Chambers, the thief, are all over it.
And there was penetration coming at him, too.
Well, it's 3rd and 17, bringing up this play right here. After this, we'll go to Pinky's Plumbing. They're coming back. They're also a no-huddle offense, Tim.
Yep, they run the same type of offense.
Again, number 8, you want to watch out for him. Trey Robinson, big receiver. Here's the throw.
Oh, no!
That's 21, Joachim Soderquist, and he's going all the way to the house. Touchdown, Jackson Timberwolves off a tip.
You know, and the sad thing about that is it went right through Keanu Wong's hands. He could have had an interception. I think he might have jumped just a hair early, but it went right through his hands, and number 21 was waiting right there for it.
Well, no flag on the play, Tim Boyle.
Well, maybe they'll let him play this week. Oh, that hurts.
That's a big stunner for this Glacier Peak crowd. Number 11, Michael Zhang, the kicker, a junior, actually had some issues on some point after tries in the first 2 games. Actually missed a few. See if he can get this one.
Oh,
Palmer! The missile! We'll be back. You're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. 7-0 Jackson. We'll be back right after this.
And another.
Who's the plumber who keeps his promise? Pinky's Plumbing. Who's the plumber easy to work with? Pinky's Plumbing. Who's the plumber who won't charge more for evenings and weekends? Pinky's Plumbing. Want to pay less? 206-707-1497. Experienced, local, friendly. That's Pinky's Plumbing. Professional plumbing services 24 hours a day.
When the plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's.
Who's the plumber?
Welcome back to STSPN. Scott Oshman along with Tim Boyle. And a shocker, as you can see, Tim, the crowd's late arriving.
Well, what happened is I've been kind of keeping an eye on it, and they've been backed up. They just can't get them through fast enough. So there's still like 100, maybe a couple hundred people trying to filter in right now.
So a stunner, no extra points. So Jackson up 6-0 on a bomb that was tipped by Kainoa Wong in to Soderquist's hands, and he took it all the way to the house.
He got an early Christmas present, too.
So Glacier Peak's done, but that's okay. They've been down before as we see Sean, the wrestler, Elledge back to receive, and it is Joachim Soderquist going to kick off.
Oh, and they're trying to keep it out of Elledge's hands.
And that's Kainoa Wong, who had some good returns last week, still going on the far side. Gets all the way up to the 45-yard line.
And Scott, field position has been the friend of Glacier Peak this year. Their drives are averaging about the 40 to 45 yard line this year, so they've really been blessed with that.
Well, the offense in the first series, if you're just joining us, had a flea flicker that was tipped, and Elledge came up with it, but on the field, the call was incomplete.
There's no they need instant replay is what they need. They could have gone to STSPN for some instant replay.
They should. I can't wait to watch
We
that
got
on
multiple
STSPN.com.
angles we could have hit that with.
If you're just joining us, 1st and 10 now, 1st and 10, but Sarah now, he's got Dunbar, he's got Elledge, and he's got Palmer, and he hands it off to Elledge. Elledge makes a move to the inside, crosses the mid-stripe, and there is Larry Baker Bruce to push him out of bounds, but not after a huge gain.
All the way down to the 35-yard line, Scott.
Check that Trey Robinson, number 8, on the tackle there. A big game by Sean Elledge. We were talking before the game how he hasn't gotten in the flow too much.
Well, it's part of it's because they're so deep on offense that they're mixing it up and everybody's kind of getting their touches.
A big run by Elledge to start it off, and Elledge is going to start again right in the backfield. Kind of an interesting formation.
There
Here's
he goes
Elledge
again.
with the gut, breaks the tackle, now he's loose.
Uh-oh.
To the 10, 5, touchdown Glacier Peak.
And the state champion says, take that. Right back at you. You're going to take away my reception? I'm coming back at you.
It did not take very long, and it is 6-6, and there's the wrestler.
wrestler. Is he wearing his medal around his neck?
Well, you know he was talking to Coach after the first 2 games. He's like, I need the rock, baby.
The wrestler strikes back.
Elledge with a great play at running back. The wheels of Sean Elledge. And here is Corwin in for the extra point. Branson Corwin hasn't had too many troubles with extra points. And this one is up, and this is good. So 7-6 now. Glacier Peak on top over the Timberwolves. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
Still
Need to buy or sell a house or know someone who is? Look no further than Kathy Salvadolina with Windermere Real Estate. Kathy is the best. She has the experience, the expertise, and will take care of everything you need and deliver results. Go to kathysalvo.com for more information. Kathy Salvadolina, your friendly local realtor. Need to buy or sell a house or know someone who is? Look no further than Kathy.
Welcome back to STSPN.com and the Glacier Peak football here.
So
I'm almost out of breath, Tim Boyle. We had the big play by Jackson, huge run, and now we just came back.
I believe it was
to
about
Elledge.
a 35-yard run by Elledge, if I'm not mistaken.
3 plays by Jackson, 75 yards, and then Glacier Peak came back with a 35-yard run. It only took 43 seconds.
Well, and Jackson's drive only took like 54 seconds. So at this rate, it's going to be like 80 to 78.
Well, Barashkov, what did he say, 35-21?
He said 35-28. He thought Jackson would win, but he just figured either way that's going to be the score.
Keenan Foster and Trey Robinson
Uh-oh,
back
they're-
to receive. It's going to be number 5, Keenan Foster, and he's tackled down easily.
And I'm not sure. Somebody kind of maybe saved 6 points on that play because they kind of got him.
Austin Jacobson.
Got him on the heels.
Let's go down to Ron Henthorne, our sideline reporter. Tell us about that run, Ron. Down to Ron Henthorne. Tell us about that run, Ron.
Okay, Glacier Peak fans, that was a big run by Glacier Peak for a score, and we're ready to go back to action here right now.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 40. Here's Poissant. He goes back. Oh, it's intercepted. Kyle Long has it at the 45. Still on his feet. Now he's taken down inside Timberwolves territory. Kiona Wong makes up for a play in the first series.
And you took the words right out of my mouth, Scott. He made up for that big play. And we've been seeing that a lot from GP players this year. They kind of miss a play, and they come right back and make a big play. So Kainoa just redeemed himself.
Corey Rowe, the big kid, 6'3", 240.
I know it Wong jumping up there to grab that interception, putting Glacier Peak right back in the thick of things here. We're 9 minutes to go on the 45-yard line, and it looks like Glacier Peak is ready to roll.
Thank you, Ron. New feature here. We have Ron Henthor down on the field. Great stuff. So here we go again. Glacier Peak right back at it. Becerra now hands again to Elledge. Elledge cuts up the middle. He'll get 2 or 3. Just a different offensive formation, Tim. Talk about what's going on.
It is
out
a little bit different. The biggest thing you see is they haven't gone to Palmer yet. They're mixing in Sean Elledge, but that's the biggest thing. Palmer, no carries yet.
No, and now leaves him at 2nd and 8 as Becerra looks over for the call again. Elledge, you think he's going to get the rock?
He wants it.
He's got to make up for touchdowns for Baruch. And now Michael Palmer. Here's the snap. Elledge does get it. Break one. He fumbles. It's on the ground. It's picked up by Jackson. He's running. No one even close. He is going to take his time, and that's big number 80. Is it 80? I believe it is. Big number 80, and that's the kid, Alex Castena. We talked about 6'5", 225, and he can run.
Yeah, and the ball never quite got in Elledge's hands and kind of bobbling a little bit. It got stripped, and the scoring is coming on fast.
My goodness, our poor statistician, John McClain, his fingers are going to be in a splint here soon. He's going so fast. So right now we're at Jackson 12, Glacier Peak 7. Again, turnover, then turnover.
Back-to-back turnovers.
Glacier Peak coming into tonight, only 2 turnovers, no fumbles, 2 interceptions. They're going to go for 2. Down on the right side, and he is in.
Larry Baker Bruce.
No, that is Trey Robinson, my friend.
He looked a lot like him.
He does. Larry Baker is number 2, and Trey Robinson, who we talked about, and with the 2-point conversion, that'll make it Jackson 14 and Glacier Peak 7.
So here's the deal, Scott. We only got about 3 minutes and 45 seconds off of the clock, and it's already 14-7.
All right, we'll be back right after this on STSPN.com.
Salvadorina with Windermere Real Estate. Kathy is the best. She has the experience, the expertise, and will take care of everything you need and deliver results. Go to KathySalvo.com for more information. Kathy Salvadorina, your friendly local realtor. Need to buy or sell a house or know someone who is? Look no further than Kathy Salvadorina with Windermere Real Estate.
Welcome back. We hope you haven't missed this one because it has been fast and furious. Woo!
We got
14-7, Jackson on top.
And we got some fans at home watching both the Cougs on TV and this on the internet. And I just got an update from our Rob Nichols on assignment. 6:22 left in the first half. 21-10 Cougs over UNLV.
Rob Nichols, part-time writer for STSPN.com, part-time assignment editor over there watching the Coug games. 8:12 left to go in the first quarter as we're kicking off one more time. And back to receive is Marcos Baruch.
They've been switching it up. They've gone Baruch and Elledge. They're trading off back there in the backfield.
So back to punt now is Soderquist right now, 21. Another squibber on the ground. They do not want Elledge to get the ball, and wrapping it up is number 25 for Glacier Peak, Jacob Argue. Remember his older brother.
Yep. Good field position, though, for Glacier Peak. They'll take it on the 38-yard line.
WescoAthletics.com. Check it out. You want to see what's going on? Scores, schedules, rosters, anything you need, go to WescoAthletics.com for all 4A, 3A. They got everything you need at WescoAthletics.com.
We use that site all the time.
Back here on the field, Becerra trying to go. Now he goes through the air. Deep high hanger going to Nick Alley. Tips it and catches it at the 35. The tip drill is on fire tonight.
Another spectacular catch. This time the refs give it to us, though.
Big Nick Allen.
And, that was kind of like playing 500 when you were a little kid. That ball was just kind of up for grabs.
Robinson and Deneen, Nick Deneen on the coverage. Big first down at the 36 of the Timberwolves. Now Elledge on the left side. Breaks a few tackles, high steps out of bounds with a carry.
And that high step got him about 3 extra yards there, Scott.
Let's go back to Ron now on the field to talk about that grab by Nick Allen.
The excitement down here on the sidelines after that play. Sean Elledge almost ran me over. It's a great catch by Glacier Peak to put him down this far on the field. We'll see what happens next.
Down there. Stay safe down there, Ron. We don't want you hurt.
Gain of 3 for 21. Sean Elledge on that carry. 2nd and 7 as Becerra brings him up. Elledge now the near side receiver. They got Palmer in the backfield. Becerra plenty of time going over the middle. Oh, Elledge was wide open.
Looked like there was a little extracurricular activity going on, too.
And Trey Robinson, number 8, looking over to the
Trey Robinson was like trying to petition like he got thrown down. The wrestler may have thrown him down.
Nick White also in the coverage, number 6 for the Timberwolves. Leaves up a 3rd and 7 now. All right. 3rd and 7 for Becerra. Downs 14-7. Glad you're with us here. Let us know our Facebook page at stspn.com if everything's coming through clean. Becerra now 3rd and 7, giving it to the missile on the right side, leaning. Not sure he's going to make it, Tim.
It's going to be real close. It depends if they give him a home field spot or not. Ooh, that might call for a measurement.
I'm going to call it a gain of 5. Becerra gets him right back going. Palmer in the backfield, 4th now and 1. Palmer has to make a cut. Great defensive play. He tries to lean forward. And number 12, Nick
really
Deneen.
Close.
Nick Deneen with a huge play for the Timberwolves.
Ooh, that's going to be close. That's going to call for a measurement.
They're saying it didn't make it. Turnover on downs. Jackson ball. And this is exactly what the offensive coordinator, Barashkov, said. They want to slow GP down, and they are.
Hey, you got to take Glacier Peak out of that tempo. You get them in the tempo, and they'll just burn you all night.
Catch up on some other prep scores. Thursday night, Tim, huge win by Kings over Archbishop. First time ever for Kings over Murphy, 40-15.
And that surprised everybody. Nobody would have picked that, I don't think.
So here goes Connor Plaisance back to pass. Goes over a quick toss to Robinson. Gets it at the 30. Crosses almost up to the 35, probably at the 32. Baruch and Trey Chambers on the coverage. .6:55 left to go here in the first quarter. Jackson up 14-7 as you see on your screen. Federal Way 62 over Graham Kapowson 28. Another score. Here's Larry Baker Bruce, but he's tackled by Trey Chambers in the backfield or maybe line of scrimmage.
Ooh, and that's athlete versus athlete right there. Trey Chambers comes up the winner on that one. The thief was ready for him.
Drewliner 53. You see up front defensively. You got Palmer 35. You got
Palmer's 34.
34. 55 Bussing there. Had a big game last week. Austin Jacobson in the back. You see Quentin Dunbar now raising his arm. Wants to get the crowd into it. Needs the GP to get back and get a big stop here. They hustle up, more of a tight formation. Looks like, oh my goodness, there's Robinson. They check it to him, and Elledge gets him out, but he gets a first down all the way to the 49.
And Elledge came flying over the top with almost a horse collar type tackle.
So don't go to Plaisance. They go straight to Robinson for a good carry and another Jackson first down. Again, Federal Way 62, Graham Kapowson 28. Gonzaga Prep 39, Ferris 13. Lindbergh 47, Evergreen 14. All prep scores from last night. We'll check into tonight's scores. Jackson here at 1st and 10 now on their own 47. Plaisance back to pass, going deep, a wobbler left side. That's going to be out of bounds, no good. Incomplete.
Kiona Wong was right there with him on the coverage either way. Had that ball been a good throw, it could have been an interception.
Going for Joachim Soderquist, who had that opening touchdown. Brings up 2nd and 10. Changing it up is Jackson, Tim. Well, tell me what they're doing on offense. They're kind of throwing the GP defense off a little bit here early.
Well, I think what they're doing is they're going past, they're spreading their offense out. They're doing exactly what Glacier Peak does, actually.
Now Plassant's back to pass again, goes to the right, gets it to Robinson. Over the middle of the field, he's going to get another first down, tackled by Elledge and Michael Palmer, but another pickup. Trey Robinson.
And back to your last question, they look like Glacier. They do that bubble screen, that quick no huddle, do the quick bubble screen, and very similar to Glacier Peak.
Robinson now, number 8, Trey Robinson, lighting up the stat sheet. We'll get those here in a second updated. Already had a 14-yarder, and there's another one. 2nd and 10. It's 1st and 10. Plassant's back to pass over the middle again, going for Robinson.
That's almost picked up by the thief. Almost got that, Trey Chambers.
Trey doing a great job back there. We talked to Coach Hannon about that. He's got great athletic ability and huge anticipation. You see Elledge and Trey talking it over.
Cougs up 28-17 with 5:14 left in the half.
The Cougs need a good night tonight.
They do.
I like Mike Leach a lot. I think he's a great, huge pickup. He's just fun and entertaining, not to mention a good football coach. So 2nd and 10 now at the Glacier Peak 40. Now Plassant's running, and he gets tackled by Dunbar.
Quentin Dunbar had excellent penetration on that. Quentin Dunbar's broken up a lot of plays this year. A lot of things don't show up on the stats for him, but he's changed a lot of plays around. That one will show up on the stats for him.
3-yard loss for Jackson, their first loss of the day. Brings up a 3rd and 13 with 4:43 left in the first quarter. Glad you're with us. Connor Plassant now with Larry Baker Bruce, fakes it to him, goes over to Trey. One-handed
that ball should be live.
You say it's a lateral, huh?
It looked very close to being a lateral, but apparently the refs didn't think so.
So good stop for Glacier Peak fans. 4th and 13. You'll see a punt from Jackson.
You think so, huh?
Well, you think they're going to fake it?
Well, they're in a spot where it's not going to cost them too much.
Soderquist on to punt. Back to receive is Elledge and Trey Chambers. You think they're looking for the fake? Is he going to punt it? He does. A bullet down gets a Jackson bounce. It's going to be down at the 2-yard line. As they change sides.
The punter fired a bullet down there, and he lucked out because Jackson got down there quick enough to field that ball. They're giving it to him at the 4-yard line, Scott.
We'll see what Glacier Peak can do. They need a good series.
Well, they got to go 96 yards here if they want one.
Empty set right now for Becerra. Elledge on the near side. Big Nick Allen on the far side of the field. And Austin Hines, number 11, in the middle. And you got big play Josh May, the inside receiver, on the far side of the field.
And Josh May's been quiet this game and the last game.
Now Palmer in the backfield. He breaks the tackle to the 20. Goes outside, and Robinson catches him finally at the 25. A big first down, and there's the missile.
Michael, the missile's back. And we were just commenting that they really haven't given him the ball yet, and they've been giving the ball to Sean Elledge, and glad to see Michael getting mixed in there, too.
A big run for Michael the Missile Palmer again. John Robert Woolley and Trey Robinson on the tackle for the Timberwolves. Now they send Bussing in.
The big thing about that play, Scott, is it gives them a lot of breathing room.
So first and 10 on the 26 for Glacier Peak. Becerra back to pass, whistles down there. They're going to stop this play.
It's some type of dead ball, probably a false start. I didn't see any flags on the field, though.
See what's happening here, what the call is.
False start.
That is Glacier Peak's first penalty of the game. We talked about that. 860-plus yards in penalties last year. They're 20% on the way at 157 yards in the first 2 games.
Yeah, I think they were on pace to break that record. Not one you want to break, though.
No, that isn't. So, going to set it back at 1st and 15 now. 5-yard penalty. Becerra now goes deep down the corner for Elledge. He has ammo just outside the stretched arms of the wrestler Elledge. Incomplete with Robinson on the coverage.
And I'll tell you what, Elledge laid it all on the line. He lays himself out for those balls that are just a little bit overthrown.
Well, you want to know more about Glacier Peak sports that you won't find anywhere else? Then be sure to check out the SnohomishTimes.com. It's your local community online paper. That's right, SnohomishTimes.com. Get different stories, different opinions, and it's your closest source of what's happening in the community. Check it out, SnohomishTimes.com. Becerra now hands it off to Palmer through the middle, and he gains all the way back to the original line of scrimmage, a gain of 5 for 34 Palmer. Jacob Saldana on the cat tackle for Jackson.
And Palmer's been averaging some ridiculous, right now he's averaging 10 yards a carry, but his yearly average is ridiculous. Ridiculously good.
Get it to Elledge now. Makes up more yardage. It's complete, and 21 Sean Elledge creeps towards the first down and be tackled at the GP 34-yard line.
Probably 4th and 2, and they're thinking about going here. 4th and, geez, they didn't give him a very good spot.
No,
there.
they didn't.
Jeez. They brought it back at 4th and 3, they're calling it. It's a long 3.
All right, Becerra now with Dunbar in the backfield and Palmer to his right. Elledge, the near side receiver. In your screen. Motion goes.
Oh,
they're going to punt.
Wow, and it's going to end up being a pretty good punt for him.
All the way down, rolling past the 20, inside the 20 to around the 17. Let's go down to Ron Hentorn.
All right, we're down here on the field again. Close to the end of the first quarter here. There's been one penalty in this game so far, and it's been a very clean game. I can tell you one thing, between the crowd and the players down here, the excitement is really high. These kids are pumped up and ready to roll. Let's see if they can do it right here.
Thank you, Ron. So Jackson again, 2:26 left to go in this first quarter. An exciting first quarter. Jackson up 14-7. First time all year we've seen 4th and punt. Fake punt. For Glacier.
It was actually a good call. It tricked all of us, including Jackson.
There's a whistle down on the field as the referees are.
It looked like they weren't ready to start it.
So it's a penalty against Glacier Peak. Tim, did you catch that?
I didn't even see the flag come out, so I'm not sure what that was.
So now
1st and 5?
1st and 5 for Connor Plaisance and the Jackson Timberwolves. Plaisance back to pass, goes quick over to Robinson. He's got a first down on the far side, pushed out by Trey Robbins.
Flags all over the place. There's 2 flags. I know why we're not seeing the flags. They're blue. They're light blue tonight. That's what's throwing us off.
So our first game really where field position is going to play in, and that obviously led to Coach Rowe for the Glacier Peak decision to punt that.
And that's by the way, sorry, Scott, that's coming back for a holding.
Okay, holding on Jackson, that'll push him back to near the line of scrimmage. But so Coach Rowe's got to play a different game tonight than he's had the first 2 times.
Well, you're right. And why did you say that?
Well, because field position has not been an issue against Lake Stevens or Snohomish.
No, because he was starting off at midfield or better every time. So, yeah, he has to rethink it a little bit.
And
Absolutely.
What do you think? What adjustments is on the defensive side Coach Hannon looking to as we start play again for Connor Plaisance? We'll get to that in just a second. Kainoa Wong matched up on the far side as Plaisance goes back to pass again. Now he goes over and it's caught again, but he is stuck hard by Baruch. Robinson on the pickup for a first down, but
and that was a big stick. Those are the kind of sticks you got like a skull on the back of your helmet for when we were kids, you know.
Trying to update Plaisance, 3 for 8. Think he's got a little bit more for 82 yards and 1 touchdown. Try and update those stats. And Trey Robinson, a beast right now for Jackson. It's a one-man wrecking crew. Hands it off to Baker, and Baker is crushed. I don't know if we'll get back to the line of scrimmage.
That would be about the most he gets. And if you look at these two offenses, they're real mirror images of each other.
Larry Baker Bruce, I love that kid. He can do it all. He's got a big arm. He can run.
I know. When we saw him at quarterback, we commented several times he was like Michael Vick back there because he was so fast. Nobody could catch him.
Our scoreboard operator having some issues. It's now 2nd and 11, they're going to say, or 2nd and 10 here at the Jackson 30-yard line. 2nd and 11 on the 30. 1:13 left in the first quarter. Plaisance back to pass. Goes over the middle. Tipped by big play Josh May. Incomplete.
Good to see Josh May getting back in the action.
Get him some touches. He's got to touch the leather, baby.
And you see a lot. Boy, the way this, we talked about this earlier, but the Glacier Peak defense is a real risk-reward right now. They're sending a lot of people, and it's risky, and they could get burned on it.
So 1 minute, 7 seconds left to go in this first quarter. New situation for Grizzly fans. They're down right now, 14-7. It's Plaisance, 3rd and 11. It is caught on the right side by Soderquist, but he only down about a yard.
Maybe 2 yards. Yeah, they'll be punting from there. So Glacier Peak's going to get the ball back with about 30 seconds maybe in the first quarter.
Clock's ticking 49. They're not going to think you call a timeout here, Tim?
No, not here. Unless they see something they don't like. Well, I'll tell you what they don't like is they see you got Chambers, Elledge, and Baruch back there?
Austin Hines. You're seeing one of our favorite Wesco Septic Service, 1-888-488-5588. Check them out, awescoseptic.com.
Flag. I think that's going to be a delay of game, Scott, so that's going to back them up 5 more yards.
Stops the clock at 24 seconds left to go in the first quarter. So an interesting new kind of feeling here for the Grizzlies, Tim Boyle. They're not used to being down 14-7 anytime.
No, absolutely not. Now, I will say that, like, even in the Snohomish game, they kind of hung with them in the first quarter, and Glacier Peak's really stepped it up in the second and third quarters this year. So we'll see what happens.
So here we go with the punt. Back to punt is Soderquist. And we do have, as Tim mentioned, Trey and Elledge. They go to Hines' side of the field, takes a bounce around the 40. Everybody gets away, and Glacier Peak, 6 seconds. The clock is stopped at 6, so they'll have 6 seconds. That's all they need.
That's all they need. But it's 6 seconds left in the first quarter, so we got a whole other quarter to go in the half.
Well, Plaisance, 3 for 9, 82 yards, 1 touchdown, the long being the 82-yard touchdown to Soderquist for the first series of the game. For Glacier Peak, Becerra 1 for 5, 27 yards. And Elledge getting a lot of the carries tonight. 7 carries for 13 yards, and the Missile Palmer, 4 carries for 35 yards, still his average 8.8.
Changing the play on the sidelines. I'd look for Palmer on this one.
Receivers, you got Elledge, Hines, and Baruch. Baruch on the 5 side. Now another.
I think it's delay of game is what it is. They couldn't get just couldn't quite get the play in. They kept changing it, and that one's on Becerra. He's got to be knowledgeable of that and get that off.
And we haven't seen that. We did see last year they had some issues with that late in the season.
They do that a lot. They kind of change the play at the last second, and it comes back to bite them sometimes.
Elledge in motion. Now Becerra fakes it to him. Oh, he did catch. He got it to Elledge on the far sideline. That'll end the quarter. He gains 1. And at the end of first, Tim Boyle, Jackson 14, Glacier Peak 7. You're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. We'll be back right after this. All right, welcome back. You're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network, STSPN.com. Scott Oshman joined along with our expert football analyst, Tim Boyle. Tim, oh my goodness, what do you think? What a first quarter.
Well, I think it's exactly what we thought it might be, a shootout, and for a while it looked like they each scored 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, but the offenses look very similar.
Well, Plassant's having a nice night for Jackson Timberwolves. Trey Robinson, number 8, just living it up, living a dream right now.
Yeah, he's having a great night.
Crowd getting restless again. The crowd doesn't know how to do this. They don't know how to be down.
And it is a pretty good it's a big crowd tonight. I don't see any empty seats. In fact, I see just people walking around looking for seats.
So here we go. And we'll see if Becerra going the other way can have some more luck. You got Baruch on the near side. Hands it off to Palmer. Breaks a tackle. Down to the 40, but now Soderquist.
I thought I saw a flag go flying.
Connor Finley on the tackle team.
There was a flag that came through right at the end of the play, so I'm not sure what that's going to be.
Shades of last week in Snohomish. Not Shades of Gray, the award-winning best-selling book, but shades of last week, Tim Boyle. Too many flags.
And I don't like these light blue flags, I got to tell you.
I remember last year.
They did that last year. It threw us off because you can't see them very well.
A holding call on Glacier Peak.
Another costly call.
Kind of talked about that again. They've got to cut down not only on the number of penalties, it's when they're happening.
Yeah, and that could have been like 3rd and 1, and instead we're back to 2nd and 12.
All right. Becerra now back to pass. That time goes over the middle.
See,
caught
the Whistler.
21 Elledge. Oh, he's gonna beat him.
And he got a Christmas present from the referee. The referee threw a block there on accident, and you can see right now they're petitioning with the ref. If you didn't see that, they almost had Elledge run down, and the ref got right in the way. Big play.
And that's 89 Jack Woods talking to the referee for the action.
But you know what? There is nothing they can do. That is just incidental interference on the ref. They don't change the play. It is what it is. It's just bad luck.
What a huge play. We talked about Elledge not being, the main guy. Well, guess what? Front and center, the wrestler with a big Glacier Peak touchdown. Connor Branson Corwin on for the extra point. It's good, and we're tied up 14-14 right at the start of 11:38. You're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
Okay, can we get these? Like, this is 8 for...
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the West Coast Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the West Coast Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the West Coast Conference. Hey sports fans, do you want to know when?
Welcome back. What a big, huge play by the wrestler. He didn't have to break many tackles that time, Tim.
No, the referee helped him out, and we like it. And the wrestler's got 2 touchdowns tonight. Oh, onside kick. Oh.
Big number 70 for Jackson recovers. That's Corey Rowe. 6'3", 245. Big pause on that one.
Yeah, and
interesting
Corwin
choice.
kicked that.
Corwin did.
It went just a little bit too fast. If that was just a little bit slower, they would have had a shot at it. Now they give him some good field position.
Glacier Peak not taking much time to score. First score was 54 seconds. The second one was 43, and that one was just as quick. As Connor Plaisant now back 1st and 10 at the Glacier Peak 47. Now it's Bruce. Gets up past
another
the
flag.
mid-stripe.
2 flags.
Larry Baker, Bruce, he's not getting much room to run, Tim.
No, and I think he got the benefit of somebody holding on there, too. So that's coming back about 10 yards. And I think somebody asked about these flags. I think it has something to do with, like, prostate cancer or something of that nature. They did the exact same thing last year for one. They only do it for 1 week, thankfully, because we can't see them that well. They may as well have camouflage flags.
All right. Well, that's going to push the ball up to the 37-yard line. You can see the Glacier Peak players wanting their crowd to get into it. Plaisant's now back in, chased by Dunbar.
He's got him.
Down! Big sack by Quentin Dunbar.
And Scott, we talked about this many times, that Dunbar doesn't make those plays last year. He's just a beast this year. Lived in the weight room, apparently, and I don't know, living on protein shakes or something.
What is that kid doing? Steaks and shakes.
Steaks and shakes is right.
Meanwhile, it got about a 5-yard loss. Now they have 2nd and 25. Watch number 8. He's the inside receiver on the near side as Connor goes back in pressure. Dumps it to Larry Baker Bruce. Nobody in front of him. Missed the tackle. Dives, but only gets up to the 49. He'll still be sitting with about 7 yards to go.
And Marcus Baruch kind of tripped him up and probably saved about 15 or 20 yards on that tackle. He kind of swiped his ankle and tripped him up, and good play by Baruch.
And that's the first time you got to see Baker Bruce, the athleticism, the quickness. You don't want him with open field.
No, you do not want that.
So a big pickup, though, for Jackson now.
3rd and 8. Big third down here for Jackson.
Connor Plaisant's having a good night tonight. Tied up 14-14.
Play.
Who's got it? Nobody's saying anything.
I think they get it back, but the problem is now it's going to be like 4th and 8 or 4th and 9.
Austin Jacobson trying to get in. Plaisant actually recovered his own fumble.
Austin Jacobson in there trying to petition that he had it. I see big Josh Elvig's in there right now, too. 4th and 10. They lost a couple on that.
9:25 left in the first half here. Tied up 14-14. As Connor Plaisant's now. Soderquist on the near side.
Oh, they're
it goes
fake.
up back.
It's a fake.
He
Nothing
only gets
doing.
a couple. And that was Connor Finley with the ball with the pickup. And you're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
is a specialty focused on treating musculoskeletal dysfunction, movement dysfunction. We're on the cutting edge at Integrated Rehabilitation Group. We look at function. We talk about the total body and treating the total person. All of our therapists have a master's degree, and more importantly, a lot of them have doctorate degrees. Movement is the key. The old way in physical therapy was to treat them on the...
Oh, here we... Palmer.
Welcome back, Arnold Palmer. It's getting a little touchy up here.
He doesn't run like Arnold Palmer.
No,
Scott.
Michael Palmer with a nice big pickup there, leaving 2nd and 3. Arnold the Missile Palmer, what do you mean? Back in the day? Come on. So Glacier Peak tied up now. 2nd and 3 on the Jackson 43. Becerra goes over to Hines. Hines gets into the 40, catches it, passes all the way up almost to the 30, tackled it around the 31-yard line.
And that's a big first down for Hines.
Mentek Wong, the junior, on the tackle for Jackson.
And you're seeing Glacier Peak starting to mix in more players.
1st and 10, another big pickup for Grizzlies. Palmer now up the gut. Nothing there, and a big stop by 51.
And a rare stop for Michael Palmer, averaging about 10 yards a carry.
Jake Miles on the stop. Six tackles coming into tonight for Jake Miles. Hard to bring Palmer down, so a good stop by Miles. Becerra looks over now. Big Nick Allen on the near side. Going to give it back to Palmer. Gets a little seam. Gets tripped up, though.
And he almost had the corner there, and that's when Palmer's done really well. Just gets outside that defensive end, and usually he's good for about 20 on that.
Mentek again on the tackle for Jackson. 2nd tackle in a row for him. 3rd and 6 now. Again, kind of not a critical drive. 7:20 left in the half, but it'd be good to score here. They're all tied up 13-14.
Yeah. Glacier Peak smelling blood in the water.
Becerra, catches made by Hines. He's passed inside the 20 and the 15, run out of bounds by Trey Robinson.
Gave him a little bit of extracurricular too, Scott.
Nice pickup. Good to see Austin Hines.
And, I told you before, this is really where Glacier Peak's been picking it up in the first 2 games. As in the second quarter, they've kind of really run away from everybody.
Becerra now, 1st and 10, gives it to Palmer. Palmer, nice open window on the right, and he punches through down to the 5.
And he's real close. He's about a yard short of a first down.
So Michael, the Missile Palmer, starting to chug a lug.
Just like we thought.
8 carries, 49 yards. And they're right back at it. Again, Palmer now to the left side. He won't make maybe the first down.
He might have the first.
Nick Deneen with the tackle for Jackson. Yeah, Nick Deneen on defense comes in 10 tackles for Nick Deneen, the linebacker.
And they not giving him the first down, Scott, so they're calling it 3rd and 1, I believe. Very close, though. From here, it looks like inches away.
Austin Hines coming on.
You know what? They're going to measure, Scott. We get a measurement here.
Great job, as always, Leslie McLean on our main camera.
Let's see what... Yeah, Leslie's right on it. Oh, it's going to be just a hair short, I think. Oh, about a foot. It's about a foot.
As they get ready for this play, you'll see in the corner of your screen. Now, Tim, what's the fastest growing sport in the country?
Lacrosse.
That's right.
Oh.
And guess what? On October 13, U.S. Lacrosse presents the Seatown Classic at Starfire Sports Complex in Tequila. Now, 2 of the best men's NCAA teams are facing off. University of Denver, where my father went, and University of Maryland. And we're going to tell you more about the Great Seatown Classic in a second. We want to see if this 3rd and 1 happens here. Becerra hands it up. Fumble!
Oh, no.
Flag on the play.
I don't think it's – I think it's they're throwing – they throw their bags to – yeah.
Jackson recovers. A dagger in the heart for the Grizzlies as they were driving and on the doorstep.
And Palmer never got the ball in his hands. They were a little bit quick on that. And costly turnover there in the red zone.
Their first fumble, I think.
Elledge fumbled earlier.
Tonight.
Yeah.
2 tonight.
2 tonight. One with Elledge and one with Palmer. This one more costly than the last.
Still, wow. And now.
I mean, that's like taking 6 points off the board right there, Scott. That's costly.
Mark your score sheets if you're playing along at home. Big moment here with 6:16 left to go in the first half as the Jackson Timberwolves have a little more giddy up in their step as they come out. Give it to Larry Baker Bruce. He goes up the middle. Maybe a gain of 1, Tim.
Yeah, they didn't push the line at all. Yeah, I think they're going to give him about 1. That's not really a play for Larry Baker Bruce with his size and speed. He's more of a run around the corner type running back.
2nd and 7 now, as you're seeing all kinds of different looks here for Jackson. Now they get it to Robinson. Trey Robinson on the near side picks up a couple to the 9.
I think they handed off. I think they snapped the ball to him is what I think.
They're doing that a lot.
They're doing like the Wildcat.
The old Wildcat. And Alex,
a favorable spot there.
Yeah, I had him at the 9. 3rd and 4. 5:21 left to go in this first half. Tied up 14-14.
Big 3rd down. They'll be punting from the end zone if they don't get this.
Do we see Connor again? They hand it off again. Trey Robinson gets the snap. The Wildcat and the defense finally comes up with a big play on 3rd down.
3 or 4 blue jerseys down there all over him. And here's the thing, Scott. They're going to be punting from right around the end zone. So good opportunity here for Glacier Peak to get some field position.
And look out for the wrestler. He loves to block punts. But
now they got him in the return. I think they got him and Trey Chambers back there to return. So pick your poison there. The thief or the wrestler.
That's right. Soderquist now making signals, counting, making sure he has enough players on the field. Now he comes up. Now there's a timeout on the field on Jackson. With that, we'll take a timeout. You're watching Glacier Peak Football, the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
Kathy is the best. She has the experience, the expertise, and will take care of everything you need and deliver results. Go to KathySalvo.com for more information. Kathy Salvadolina, your friendly local realtor. Need to buy or sell a house or know someone who is? Look no further than Kathy Salvadolina with Windermere Real Estate. Kathy is the best. She has the experience, the expertise, and will take care of everything you need and deliver results. Go to KathySalvo.com for more information. Kathy Salvadolina, your friendly local realtor.
Welcome back. 4:18 left to go in the first half. Timeout on the field by Jackson. Wanted to kind of finish our thoughts about the Seatown Classic lacrosse, Denver versus Maryland. And guess what, Tim? If you can't make that game down to Starfire October 13th, don't worry. The lacrossenetwork.com has you covered. So go to SeatownClassic.org to check out more information. And we're back with 4th and 3. The punt now. Soderquist kicks it, and Elledge gets it at the 45. Goes to the right, has a blocker. Near side, has some room, not too much, down to the 25. Good return.
And Quentin Dunbar had a monster block back here and gave Elledge about another 12 or 15 yards on that.
And Dunbar is fired up.
Oh, man, Quentin had a wonderful block. I hope it was Quentin anyway. It looked like it from here.
The coaches were high-fiving, hitting his head.
They're going to buy him like a milkshake after the game for that one.
And Dunbar looking the coaches, they want him back in.
Oh, man. And he just undressed the guy there.
So Glacier Peak dodges a bullet. They're down around the 3, inside the 5. They fumble. Now they get the
They're
ball
right
back.
back at it, though.
Big defensive stop by Glacier Peak. Here's Becerra back to pass. He's looking down. Oh, off the hands of Austin Hines. Incomplete. Austin Hines, saw him a little bit last year.
And we're seeing him a lot this year. We're seeing him a lot tonight. He's having himself a nice little game tonight.
Jake Miles trying to get in the tip drill there for Jackson, the defender on the play. He thought he was going to get another pick off the tip off Hines. Leaves him at 2nd and 10, though. We've seen more tip interceptions this year.
A lot of tips tonight.
Becerra now steadies back pass, overthrown, another one.
And who was that intended for? And Josh May saved an interception there. It went over his hands, and it was right into the defender's hands, and Josh May laid him out. Big play, Josh May.
Mentek Wong, he was there, tipped it, and then Trey Robinson for Jackson trying to come up with that interception. So now 3rd and 10, 2 incompletes for Becerra. Now you have Baruch on the near side. Trey Chambers, Hines.
And Baruch is due right now.
He is. We haven't called Baruch. Becerra back to pass. Now a caught by Hines, a first down and more.
He's still on his feet.
Inside the 10 for a Glacier Peak first down. Austin Hines.
And that was a large first down right there. They really needed that. Now they're in the red zone. Feeling good. They got a new set of downs, and this is just right in Glacier Peak's wheelhouse, Scott.
Saldana and Deneen in there for the tackle, but a big pickup for Austin Hines.
And we were just talking about Hines. He's having himself a big night.
1st and 10 now. 1st and goal. Becerra fakes the pass. Goes to Baruch at the 7. Reaches for the 5. See where they'll spot it. Austin Hines, just a junior too, Tim, so good to see him.
We'll see him next year, no doubt about it.
2nd and goal now. Mentek on the tackle again, number 25 for the Timberwolves. Clock ticking now, 3:05 left to go in this first half, all tied up 14-14.
Glacier Peak's not looking for a field goal here, Scott.
Becerra now, back to pass, goes the screen, and shut up!
It's the
Glacier Peak touchdown, Sean Elliott!
Oh, my. Scott, hide the women and children. There's a beast on the loose. 3 touchdowns tonight for the wrestler.
Isn't he on your fantasy league?
Oh, he is now. I just put him on. And there he is. There's the wrestler right there with 3 touchdowns.
He's shaking his head. Yeah, baby.
He said, yeah, that's me. Give me the ball.
Tell you, one-on-one, he is a tough customer to handle. There's no doubt. As Bowen comes out for the extra point, Tim. It is good. With 2:53 left, GP goes up 21 over Jackson. You're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. Well, Tim Boyle, GP drives it down and cough it up. Jackson gets a huge stop by the Grizzlies. They get it back, and they kind of unfinished business there with Ellis scoring the TD.
Yeah, 3 tonight for Elledge, and we talked about him earlier that he's kind of had a quiet year so far, but he did score the first touchdown in each game, and he's back, ladies and gentlemen.
So 21-14 is Spencer Pettit, the sophomore, does a high kick. It's taken by Baker Bruce around the 32, going to the far side. Beats one guy. Spencer Pettit there to tackle him along with Pinka. And he gets all the way to the 33-yard line of Glacier Peak. Big run back.
Okay, I got to tell you right now, that's a mistake kicking the ball to him like that. That is the last guy on the field you want to kick the ball to.
Check that Diego Ayala, number 44 on the coverage there.
It was number 12 on the tackle.
And Spencer Pettit, the sophomore kicker, has had to tackle a lot of return
And
guys.
that's not good.
No. So 1st and 10 now on the GP 33 for Connor Plaisant. A little bit more for pistol formation now. And he hands it off. Up the middle. Crush. Big hit.
By Elledge and Trey Chambers.
Nick White on the carry there, number 6. Going to give him a couple. Bring up 2nd and 8.
But how important is Sean Elledge and Trey Chambers back there for the Grizzlies?
Huge.
One of those guys, you don't want one of those guys going down with an injury. They are all over the place.
Timberwolves, a quick striking club themselves. So 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to go.
That's time for about 3 touchdowns.
It really
is. And somebody's going to take some time to think about it.
And there's a timeout on the field again. 21-14, 2:04 left to go in the first half. You're watching Glacier Peak football on this Nahumah Times Sports Network.
You have that great neighborhood pub to relax, have fun with friends, and not have to go to some big chain. That's right, the Twisted Lime Pub has great drink specials, delicious food, your favorite game on, and the music you will love. Located close to home in between Mill Creek, Snohomish, and South Everett, you're never too far to stop in and enjoy the great atmosphere and top-notch service. They feature the best microbrews on tap, a full bar, so come on in after the game. Tim and I will be there. The Twisted Lime Pub, your local neighborhood pub.
Welcome back. Scott Oshman along with Tim Boyle here live at Veterans Memorial Stadium. 2:04 left. Glacier Peak up 21-14, but the Jackson Timberwolves on a drive right now at the GP 32.
2 minutes left in the half. No 2-minute warning here in high school football, by the way. But there's plenty of time for these two offenses.
Connor Plaisant with a good night tonight. Hands it. Now he gets it to Baker Bruce. He goes with the duck, and Baruch was back on coverage.
And that surprises me because Baker Bruce he was a quarterback for Cascade, so you'd think you'd see a little bit better of a throw than that.
And they were trying to get it to Alec Baumgartner, which is actually one of their top receivers coming into tonight. Talked to Alex Barashkov, the offensive coordinator, and he wanted to see some catches out of Baumgartner.
Well, if that ball was better thrown, it might have been 6 points.
And, we've seen Bruce throw better balls than that. He didn't look like he didn't get a handle on it. He's a check to stick him. 3rd and 9 now for Jackson. Plaisant back to pass, getting pressure from Palmer. Breaks away. Now he scrambles past the 30.
Oh, and Elledge is all over it.
Sean Elledge inside the 30. The wrestler with a pin down.
And he came in. That's a great open field tackle. And not only is Sean hard to bring down, he's an excellent tackler.
Sean,
excellent tackle.
The wrestler Elledge, is playing a heck of a game for the senior tonight.
Sean's having an out-of-body experience tonight.
He's got the GPS tracker working like he did last year.
He's got the state championship medal around his neck, and he's feeling good.
We're just waiting for the chicken wing to come out.
I think he's going to use the double grapevine today.
All right, 4th and 6. Plaisant back to pass. Dunbar after him. He gets it away. Open. Touchdown. Jackson, number 4. Baumgartner, we just talked about it. Big grab by Baumgartner. What a pass.
Well, it was a great pass because Quentin Dunbar was really coming on strong. So good composure by the quarterback there. A lot of lesser quarterbacks get rid of that ball just a little bit too soon with Dunbar on their back.
Baruch got caught on a fake, on a good move by Baumgartner, and here they come. We said 2 minutes left, plenty of time, 1:05 left in the first half, and they have had issues on extra points. So
Baruch is getting a little talking to by one of the coaches down there.
yeah, I think he bit. It is up, and it is good by Michael Zhang. And that ties us right back up, 21-21.
The problem is there's 1:05 left. That's plenty of time for Glacier Peak to go get 6 points.
And it's a perfect time to talk about Wesco Septic Service. Now, I have a septic out there in the country, out in Clearview. So give them a call if you have any issues. How long has it been since your septic's been pumped? You got to call them. Wesco, 1-888-488-5588.
And what you don't want is that gurgling and that nasty smell. By then, it's too late. Call them before that happens.
Call them today, or go online, awescoseptic.com. He'll take care of everything you need. We want to thank our friends at Wesco for their support of Snohomish Times Sports Network. Thank you, Lou. Actually, Lou happens to be a neighbor, sort of.
Sweet Lou.
Lives on my street. Great guy. He really supports the community and the schools. Does a tremendous job.
He lives on your street.
He
We
does.
get him there all the time for
I
that
know,
septic.
just- Lou,
Come right over.
Bring the truck over.
Bring it over.
I got to call Lou, actually. So they go back to us. Welcome to our STSPN little home here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're glad you're here. We're glad the feed's working. Check out all the replays in HD on STSPN.com.
And we promised a great game tonight. Look, it's 21-21. A minute left in the half. Glacier Peak won't sit on it like you'll see pro teams do with a minute left. They're happy to go in the locker room. Not going to see that right here.
Well, what do you think Steve Hannon is doing right now? I mean, that was just a good move by Baumgartner and Baruch Pitt on a play. As we see, Soderquist kicks it off now. It's taken by Elledge.
Well, still on his feet.
Still up, trying to get him down, and finally Miles has to get him, but he gets to
Five
the 20.
guys it took him to get the wrestler down.
Let's go down to Ron about Marcus Baruch.
Hey,
Ron?
the last touchdown by Jackson, Marcus Baruch came running off the field, and the coaches just reamed him a good one. They said, if you don't know what you're doing out there, you're not going back in the ball game. Apparently, he does know what he's doing because he's back in the ball game. Right here.
And
That's excellent. Thank you, Ron.
and Marcus Baruch will make up for it like he does every game.
He has.
You'll see a big play out of him later.
He knows what he's doing. They made a good move on him, and right now, no problem for Glacier Peak offense. Becerra back to pass. It is caught by Elledge again over the middle, crosses the 40 to the 41, and it leaves second and very short, Tim Boyle.
Yeah, that's not the issue. It's the clock right now. 40 seconds left. They're not too worried about second or third down.
Becerra now back quickly. Looking over the middle, finds incomplete, going for big play May. That'll stop the clock with 30 seconds left here in the first half.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
So 30 seconds left, 21-21. Jackson Timberwolves giving Glacier Peak all they can handle.
It's a shootout at the OK Corral.
Now make sure we're going to go, we'll keep here for halftime, but want to tell everybody we have a great Twisted Lime Pub postgame show with our own Tim Boyle, so stay tuned for that after the game. Now they gave him looks like they gave him the first down, but Becerra back scrambling now. It's tipped at the line. Did he catch it?
I think Josh May caught that ball.
They're saying incomplete down on the field. Some confusion about down and distance, Tim.
I was a little surprised they gave him a first down on that. Was there a penalty that we didn't see? Oh, there was a phantom penalty, but again, we have a hard time seeing those blue flags.
So 2nd and 10 is what they're saying on the board and on the field. Becerra back to pass with 20
Getting
seconds
pressure.
left. Getting almost got goes deep down the sideline for May. He's not even close. Mentek was on the coverage, incomplete, going for the bomb.
Well, and Becerra was getting all kinds of pressure right on his back, so
And
kind
throw
of
it up.
threw him off a little bit.
Throw it on the run there. Big play May trying to make the big play.
And 17 seconds left here, so
3rd and
you're
10.
going to see maybe. They probably do want to get that first down.
Baruch now back in the out of your screen, but he's the near side receiver along with Josh May. And they've got Kainoe Wong on the far side with Palmer in the backfield. Becerra, 17 seconds left. Getting pressure. Now it goes. It's tipped at the line again. Baruch picks it up and incomplete. They're having problems getting it over the line.
Well, they got some big linemen up there. I watched them walk on the field today, and they had some real, like number 80s. I think he's like 6'5".
86.5 and number 82, Jake Barker, 6'2".
You got a guy that's 6'5", and his arms are fairly long, and now GP's punting.
13 seconds left, all tied up here in the first half. Well, we thought it might be the big first test for Glacier Peak, and it has delivered.
No doubt about it. Uh-oh.
Back to pass is punt is Pettit. Fair catch called, bounces around the 28. Everybody getting away for it. Now it's around the Jackson 31-yard line.
That's the end of the half.
And that's the half. We're all tied at 21-21. Stay with us. Exciting ball game. You're watching Glacier Peak football on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. We'll be back.
Honey, the train's backed up. Oh, Pinky's running. Never mind, dear. When the mama backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky. Honey, the train's backed up. Oh, Pinky's running. Never mind, dear. When the mama backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky.
It's halftime here, 21-21. We're going to keep the sights and sounds of the Glacier Peak Grizzly marching band on your screen. Tim and I are going to take a little time out during the halftime. We'll be back with 2 minutes left, Tim.
Thank you. Yeah, we got to regroup here, Scott.
We do. We gotta crunch the numbers. We'll be back. Enjoy the sights and sound of the Glacier Peak Grizzly Band. You're watching Glacier Peak football with the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
All right. Good job, everybody.
Turn the audio on.
Let's see.